Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good day. Welcome to the Vuka Nazo Show. My name is Sihle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. Remember, whether you're watching this simulcast on Facebook or YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. If it is on YouTube, then we'll subscribe to the show and hit that bell notification. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Guys, remember, we have a website. Find us, and you can also support us financially there by going to BigDaddyLiberty.com. Now, with that being said, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get straight into the news. Yeah, it's beginning to happen, and indeed I warned you as much as I indicated that as we head into the winter months, the ever-increasing load shedding and the power outages as the infrastructure fails, Eskom grapples with the corruption that is preventing it from producing electricity. And as I mentioned in particular, as those load shedding stages become much worse, that South Africa will begin to see a breakdown in civil order. Indeed, that's exactly what's happening. Civil unrest has broken out in parts of the country, across the country, and it's these flash in the pan moments which are giving you a strong indication of what is yet to come, and indeed at much worse levels. Don't believe me? Well, watch this little compilation of incidents that have happened so far that should be the canary in the coal mine as to how fed up South Africans are becoming with not only load shedding, but also the general power outages due to poorly maintained infrastructure. And trust you me when I say this, politicians will not be safe. I take you, of course, to Emalaheni, that's Witbank as we more commonly know it, where the mayor of that town, one councillor Connie Nkali Chana, who you'll remember, of course, after the residents of KwaGuqa had requested a meeting with the mayor then proceeded in that meeting to insult the residents. These are the same residents, by the way, who their anger levels were already at boiling point after having spent days without electricity. They blockaded roads, of course, burning tires, and indeed days upon days of protest. So you would have expected the political leadership to just try and quell the tensions there, but no. According to residents of that area, this is what the mayor had said to them.
Keep on engaging municipality. Municipality mayor begala. Uthuka abantu abatshe ukuthi angezi nenzani ngamanzi. Ngiwafunelana amanzi. Wathi anamafriji. So nikhalelani for igezi. Uyadelela umayor, uhlukumeza abantu, uarrogant, uyinonsense. Umayor wase Witbank.
Yeah, the mayor speaking to residents in a very condescending tone there, almost a Marie Antoinette moment of let them eat cake, she said from her ivory tower as the mayor, only to find that residents were having none of that. And they literally responded in a really violent way, and the mayor got quite injured in this incident. Watch.
Na yadelela makathi namafresh.
That's right. Again, you saw how angry people are becoming to this, and this is the source of the unrest that's sparking up in parts of the country, across the country. I take you to Gauteng, where recently the residents of Buccleuch and surrounding areas, who themselves also have spent days without electricity, took their frustrations out directly to Eskom, taking a protest to Eskom. It's a more middle class, I must say, protest, but this is what that looked like.
I had bought chicken running. I'm putting it here by Eskom. Yeah. My poor chicken. Woo, guys. It can't be. It can't be. It can't be. There, Eskom. Woo, it's even stinking. Woo, can I have sanitizer, guys?
Yep, again, angry residents. And quite recently, last week, the residents of Kwatema, that's in Ekurhuleni, again in Gauteng, also tired of the load shedding and the power outages, which again is destroying not only jobs, but also basics. If you have a situation where your fridge is off for days on end, the food that you so meagerly budgeted for begins to rot. That is a source of social unrest. When people are hungry, people become incredibly unreasonable. And this was what Iguatema looked like as the residents blocked the N4 road over there.
Manje besilapha enkabinde kunini simile asithola ukuthi kwenzakalani. Yabona manje sibizela ama journalist manje ukuthi azobona ukuthi izikhiphani. Phumani mphakathi, phumani yekela ukulala ninegesi kanti na ninegesi aniphumeni niphumeni size sivale asiphazamisa ukugubha asiye egubheni abaqhubeke bagubhe siyavala nje ukuthi basithathe serious manje siye N17.
Yep, this is what we're beginning to see, folks. And I did say we'll see increasing incidents of this. Now, you've got to bear in mind, government is very mindful of this. The state spooks, that's the state security agency, is very mindful of the fact that load shedding is causing and creating fertile ground for almost even more nefarious type characters who might exploit the genuine anger of residents who are taking to the streets. You'll remember, of course, the minister in the presidency, one Minister Kumbudzo Veni, when she was briefing Parliament, indicated that intelligence reports are actually beginning to spot such incidents of social unrest and the potential for mass looting and mass rioting once again. But again, it's beyond what the state is also saying. All sectors are beginning to pick this up. Let me pick up and read from this Daily Investor piece, which summarized some of the myriad or the various pockets of people who are sounding the alarm bells. And it says the following. Now, many experts have warned that South Africa is facing significant social challenges which will lead to social unrest and riots. Some of these are PwC's 26th Global CEO survey for 2023, which revealed that over 2/3 of Southern African CEOs expect to face disruptions from social unrest in the next 12 months. Alliance's Social Risk Index, or the SRI, also identified South Africa as, quote, highly vulnerable to social unrest in the next 18 months. The Center for Risk Analysis, our friends over at the CRA, has also warned that South Africa faces a winter of social unrest as sustained power outages limit economic growth and job creation. Again, Municipal IQ says the same thing, where it indicates that the volume of protests in particular has surged since the beginning of the year. And again, this goes on and on. So that the evidence right here and the warnings are absolutely crystal clear. And you who watches the show and knows what I've been saying for a while now are perhaps not surprised by this. You've been forewarned that you've got to prepare. Nothing will save you if and when, which is more likely, a total grid collapse happens. The social unrest that we're beginning to see here is merely a taste, a mere hors d'oeuvre, if you will, of what could potentially be widespread mass looting and widespread social unrest. And this is what I keep reminding you as I conclude, for you to prepare. And the best way to do that is to not try and do it alone, especially if you don't have the resources as people like me, for example, and I know some of you don't have. Not all of us can afford the solar panels and the generators and the inverters. I get that. But one of the best things you can do if you can't afford things like this is to band together with your neighbors, band together with like-minded individuals, form a neighbor's stokvel where each of you put in money towards buying a generator, a basic generator, something which you guys can all connect properly to maybe your electric fencing and just lights. If you can just cover those two things and then all coordinate yourselves into safety structures so that if a total grid collapse happens, you've at least got lights, you've at least got some form of barrier, and of course, hopefully you are becoming more armed as the faith, flag, family, and freedom type South Africans. I keep saying this, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Nobody is coming to save you. If the absolute worst happens, you must prepare. All right, that's it for this episode of Vuka Nazo. Please, hey, let me know what you think about this particular matter. Leave a comment, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. The most important thing you can do is to, yes, hit that like button, but more importantly, share the stream. Please share it widely. With that being said, if you're looking to support the work that we're doing here, and it's the advocacy work in particular, then please consider contributing to the show. How do you do that? Find a payment method that suits you at our website. That's at bigdaddyliberty.com. Now, if you like any of the stories that we covered here, the links are in the descriptor. With that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next episode of the Vuka Nazo Show.